You ever talk to someone and just get that gut feeling? They're not being honest with you. Their words sound perfectly fine. The story seems to make sense, but you can feel it. Something is off fake, and it messes with your head. Am I being paranoid? Am I imagining things? Why don't I believe them? Here's what everyone tells you. Just trust people. Don't be so suspicious. Eventually, the truth will come out. But that's not how this works. Because when someone lies to you, straight to your face, there is always a leak. It's just not in their words. And these people, they all slip up the same way. Same patterns. Same micro-expressions. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for. 5 specific things their eyes do. So next time you spot it, you'll know exactly what's happening and why. When someone is deceiving you, your brain wants to believe them. You start rationalizing their story, ignoring your intuition, trying to convince yourself it's true. But here's the thing. Your gut isn't wrong. The reason you feel uneasy has nothing to do with your paranoia. It has everything to do with what their subconscious is doing. Maybe they're hiding a mistake and they're scared. Maybe they're manipulating you for gain. Maybe they're betraying your trust and it triggers your survival instinct. Whatever it is, it's about control, not truth. And when people try to control reality like that, they follow a pattern. Their eyes behave in similar ways. Once you know what to look for, you'll spot it immediately, and you'll stop doubting yourself. Because the lie isn't in what they say. It's in what they show. Let me break down the 5 eye behaviors people show when they are lying to you. First thing to notice, and this is usually the biggest misconception, people think liars look away. Shifting their eyes, nervous, avoiding contact. Then you talk to this person, and they stare, unblinking intense, locked in, and you're standing there like, wow, they must be telling the truth. Look at that eye contact. This is calculated overcompensation. They are showing you that they are honest. They know the stereotype about liars looking away, so they do the exact opposite. They force themselves to hold your gaze too long, too hard and natural. Why do they do this? Because breaking eye contact would feel like admitting guilt, and they don't want to do that. Their brain is working overtime to convince you. So it freezes their gaze on purpose. In the contrast, the fact that they don't blink normally, but stare you down. That's intentional. They want to dominate. They want to intimidate your doubt. It's a power move, a way to make you feel bad for questioning them when you see this pattern. Don't fall for the intensity. Don't let them stare you into submission. Just recognize it. They're acting, and it's not about them being focused. It's about them being terrified of being caught. This one's subtle, but it's primal. When you ask them a tough question, they briefly cover their eyes, rub an eyelid, touch their brow. When you're just chatting, their hands are on the table or at their sides. But when it's time to answer that one specific detail, their hand goes up to their face. This is subconscious. Blocking, eye blocking creates a barrier. It signals shame. It says, I don't want to see the lie I'm telling when someone feels the need to shield their eyes. They're trying to hide from the reality of the situation. They're treating the conversation like something painful. And here's the psychology behind it. Looking at you while lying causes cognitive dissonance. It creates internal conflict, and they don't want to deal with that. Because in their mind, if they can't see you, you can't see the lie. So they rub their eyes to temporarily cut off the connection. It sounds childish, but that's literally what's happening on a biological level. When you notice someone consistently touching their face near their eyes, right after a specific question, that's a red flag. They're signaling their discomfort without having to say it out loud. This happens a lot in social or polite lies. They tell you they are happy for you, or they agree with your plan, or they like your gift. Then they smile at you, and their mouth curves up perfectly. Oh yeah, that's so great. I love it. And you're sitting there feeling cold, like they didn't mean it. This is called the non-Duchenne smile. They're refusing to engage the muscles around their eyes, the orbicularis oculi. Why? Because a real genuine smile is involuntary. It crinkles the corners of the eyes. It lights up the face, and they can't fake that easily in their mind. If they move their mouth, that's enough to fool you. Then the rest of the face stays flat. So they show you teeth, stretch their lips, act like everything is fine, even when it's not fine, even when they resent the situation, because it's not about the emotion, it's about performing the social script. I've seen this happen so many times. Someone says, "I'm fine," with a huge grin. But if you cover their mouth, their eyes look sad or angry, they'll wait for you to buy it. Or they'll keep the smile frozen for too long, or they'll drop it instantly the moment you look away. And the frustrating part is, other people might not even notice, because it looks like a smile. But you notice, you feel the disconnect every single time when this happens, repeatedly with the same person. It's not coincidence. It's a mask. They're trying to hide their true feelings, their disagreement, their judgment in that moment. And the worst part is, it can make you feel crazy. You start thinking, maybe they really are happy. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But that's exactly what a good liar relies on. Don't let it fool you. Their mouth lies, but their eyes don't participate. You usually spot this. If you watch closely, they talk about normal things at a normal pace, blinking naturally, maybe 15 to 20 times a minute. Yeah, I went to the store, bought some groceries, everything was normal. Then you ask, "Where were you last night?" And suddenly, the blinking stops. It's kind of weird. I mean, they just stare frozen like a deer in headlights. Then after they finish the lie, they blink rapidly. 6, 7 times in a row. This is cognitive overload. They can't regulate their body functions because their brain is too busy constructing the fabrication. So they suppress the blink reflex while lying. They focus so hard on the story. Why? Because if they blink, they might lose the thread. They have to maintain the illusion flawlessly. It's a stress response. Freeze the body, focus all energy on the mental task. And the sneaky part is the recovery. Once the lie is out and they think they're safe, the brain releases the tension. Flutter, flutter, flutter. They have to make up for the dry eyes. The thing about this behavior is it's really hard to control because it's autonomic system. You can try to control your hands or your voice, but your eyelids betray the processing speed of your brain. And that's exactly why it happens this way. It's a system error for them. High load, they get to tell the story without realizing their body is lagging. When you see that someone stops blinking during a specific sentence and then flutters rapidly right after, that's a pattern. They're trying to manage the cognitive load because telling the truth is easy. Lying is hard work, and usually the eyes will show the effort involved, but it still works if you aren't paying attention. Last one, and this is the most debated, but useful. You ask a question about a detail. What color was the car? What did he say? And while they are answering you, their eyes dart up. And to the right, they might pause for a second, but you can see the search happening. Their eyes say it all. They're not remembering. They're constructing. This is called visual construction. Accessing memory usually moves eyes to the left. Accessing imagination usually moves them to the right. And instead of recalling a fact from the past, they are visualizing a scenario that never happened. So they can't look to the memory center because the memory doesn't exist, even though they say it does. Your question forced them to create a picture, but in their mind, it's a blank canvas. It's like they have to paint the scene in real time. And when they look right, they are accessing creativity. So every detail they give you comes from the creative part of the brain, not the factual. You'll notice this in their timing. 2. The look away. The hesitation. The way they suddenly add too many details. Or they'll check your reaction. Oh, it was blue. I mean, it was definitely a dark blue sedan. Right. They have to verify it, because if they construct it wrong, the story falls apart. This is the clearest sign that their story is being made up on the spot. If they were recalling a real event, their eyes would naturally drift to access memory. But if they're inventing a reality, their eyes go to the construction zone. So they create it. They can't hide the process even when they try. When someone consistently looks up and right while telling you facts, that's not about them being thoughtful or recalling. That's about them struggling to build a believable lie. And honestly, it's kind of exhausting when you think about it, because they're so stuck in maintaining the fabrication that they can't even just have a normal conversation. Now let me tell you why people do all of this. It comes down to one thing. Fear. When someone is honest in themselves, the truth doesn't scare them. You can ask questions, dig deeper, check details. Whatever doesn't matter. They're good with reality. But when someone is lying, the truth becomes a threat. Everything you ask feels like an attack, and they hate facing that vulnerability. So they deceive you instead, not because of you. Because of what the truth would cost them, their reputation, their image, their control over you. And instead of dealing with the consequences, they twist reality. They make you the confused one, because that's easier than facing the shame, which is inside them. Think about it like this. If someone is truly secure in their actions, they don't have the energy or need to manipulate perception. They're too busy being authentic, owning their mistakes, living their truth. But when someone is guilty, scared, or hiding something, your questions become dangerous. It's a constant reminder of what they are hiding, what they haven't admitted, what they're afraid of. And that's why you can't fix this by asking more, by accusing them, by demanding the truth, because it's not about the facts. It never was. You could have all the evidence, all the logic, all the proof in the world, and they'd still find a way to deny it. Because the real issue isn't the event, it's their inability to be honest. And until they deal with that, nothing you say will make them come clean. So what do you do when you recognize these patterns in someone? First, stop trying to force a confession. You can't pressure someone into integrity. Their lying isn't a mistake, so logical arguments won't work. Getting angry won't help begging for honesty. Won't help calling them a liar. Definitely won't help. Just accept that this person is not being real. And that's okay. You don't need their confession to know the truth, especially when their body language says more about the reality than their words do. Second, trust your intuition. I know that's hard when you care about them. But remember, what's actually happening here? Your subconscious is picking up on the signals. You're not crazy. You're observant when you internalize that. Their lies stop having power over you. Third, protect your peace. Don't engage in their twisted reality. Don't argue with a story that doesn't exist. Keep observing. Keep your distance. Keep trusting what you see. Because the moment you start doubting your own eyes to appease their narrative, you lose, and they still won't tell the truth anyway. So why bother? Just know. Let them play their game. That's their burden to carry, not yours. When someone lies to you, straight-faced, look for these 5 behaviors. They stare without blinking. Too much. They block their eyes. They smile without the eyes. They change their blink rate. They look to the creative side. When you see these patterns, you'll know exactly what's happening. It's not about the story. It's about the deception. And once you see it clearly, it stops messing with your head. You stop questioning your sanity. Stop trying to believe something that isn't real. You just recognize the pattern and step back and remember when someone lies to you. Give them no reason to think you believe it. Catch you next time.